What's up, guys? This is Great RTCG here, and I'm back with
Gilly. Apparently that's my name here now.
Gilly the Menace. Were you about to start shuffling again? all right. So what are we playing today? Look at this hater over here. Look at fucking Hawk over here, looking like fucking Cobra Kai ass. Look at him. Strike first, strike hard. No mercy. I'll think about it. Anyway, so where was I?
So the deck that I've been winning constantly, like at this locals, has been Brandon Despia.
How many times did you win with that deck?
I'd say like around I think 5 already.
Damn, you won 5 times?
Yeah, with this one.
Damn, okay.
My favorite deck of all time. You know, I've been playing this thing for 3 years already.
God damn. So that's your main baby.
Well, maybe not 3 years. When it first came out, I don't know when it was. But yeah, it was my pet deck, yeah.
So how many cards do you run?
I'm running 60. I think this deck plays best at 60.
Why 60? I thought it was like forbidden. It could be past 40 in Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, it's because this deck has so many 2-card combos, 1-card combos that it's not really a consistency issue. You have so many extenders, and it actually helps you because you play a lot of like 1-ofs in the deck that just gives your deck more of a ceiling and more power.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So just explain to me how this deck works, okay?
Alright, so for the Despia monsters, we play 3 Aluber, the Jester of Despia.
So what does it do?
On normal or special summon, it searches you any branded spell or trap. And that's another effect not a lot of people remember, where if a fusion monster comes to your graveyard, while this card is in the graveyard, he reborns himself, you target the card on your opponent's field and negates its effect.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah, it's like your...
Is that your starting play?
Yeah, it's like one of your 1-card combos.
Okay.
We play 2 Despian Tragedies. This card has the effect that when sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you get to search for any Despian monster, so it could be the Aluber. And has another effect where you can banish it from your graveyard to reset any of your branded spells or traps, but you only can use one of the effects per turn.
Gotcha.
We play 3 Guiding Quem, the Virtuous. This card is always treated as a dogmatic.
That's an expensive ass card, isn't it?
It is expensive.
It's like 25, 30?
Oh, it's like 70 something.
It's 70?
It sounds
each?
Oh, it went down maybe, like 50, I guess.
That's still 150, bro. I want to pay 10 cents with cheese on a Whopper. That's expensive, dude. Okay.
That's crazy, yeah. So it's always treated as a Despian card and a Dogmatica card, so you can search it off the Tragedy that I showed you earlier.
Yeah, of course.
On summon, it mills any card that mentions Fawn of Albaz from your deck, and then when a card leaves the extra deck, it doesn't matter from whose extra deck, you can reborn any card that mentions Fawn of Albaz from your graveyard.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and importantly, it's a light spellcaster. This comes up. I'll show up.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For one of the best cards in the deck, we play 3 Blazing Cartesia, the Virtuous. She has an effect that if I have a Fawn of Albaz on my field or in my graveyard, I can special summon her. And she's like basically a quick effect polymerization. And then she has an end phase effect where if a fusion was sent to the graveyard this turn, she comes back to your hand.
Okay.
So yeah, some recursion, and she helps with your plays.
Gotcha.
The Best Bird, 2 Mercurier. I freaking love this card. So in my deck, I play 2 because one of them is probably a lot of the times is used to negate stuff like Ash and Nibiru on your during your combos.
Yeah.
And then as a banish effect, where if it gets banished, you can search any card that mentions Fawn of Albaz from your deck.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we play 3 Albion the Shrouded Dragon. A lot of people play only 1 or 2. I hard disagree. This is like probably one of the best cards in your deck.
So why do you run 3?
Oh, because you just want to see it, especially because my list is playing a specific spell card that I'll explain later, and I just want to see a lot of dragons. So basically what this card does is you activate it from the hand, and then you send any branded spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard for cost, and then depending on where you sent it, from your hand or deck, and depending on where you sent it, if it's from the deck, you go to the bottom and you draw 1. If it was from the hand, you just special summon it to himself. But a lot of the time, you send the card for cost, then you send it to your graveyard for like another quick effect. So because it has another effect where it's treated as Fawn of Albaz on the field or in the graveyard.
So this card has a lot of utility for your deck.
Yeah. Especially just because it's Fawn of Albaz on the field or in the grave. It just comes up. It turns on a lot of your effects.
Just it's a target in general.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
We play 1 Spriggan's Kit. This card basically says on normal or special summon, she searches you any branded spell or trap, and then you shuffle back 1 card from your hand back in the deck. And then she has another effect where she can special summon herself if you have a fusion that mentions Fallen of Albaz from on your field or in your graveyard.
Gotcha.
Just a 1-of, it's really searchable. We play 3 Fallen of Albaz, the star of the deck. Basically, this card just does everything in the deck. It turns on every other card in your deck, and it's a dragon. On normal or special summon, you get to discard a card for cost, and then you get to fusion summon using itself and a card on your opponent's field. Yeah, it's just So optimally, you want one in your graveyard, one in your hand, and one in your deck. You usually just want to like control like how many you have there in those places. Yeah. For the Bestial package, we're on one Bestial Magnuma, limited to one. I'd be playing more if it was at 3.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a hand trap for light and dark decks. It has the effect where you can banish a light or a dark to special summon it, and then on summon you get to search a dragon during the end phase. But it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. So it's like a DD Pro for light and dark.
Gotcha.
We play 3 Bestial Serenir. It's like the Magnum, it's like the DD Pro for light and darks, and it has another effect where if it gets sent to the graveyard, you get to mill any branded spell or trap from your deck. So it helps your plays, and it's like a hand trap.
Understood.
We play 3 Bestial Lubellion. This card's crazy. So you can discard it from your hand for cost to search any Bestial from your deck. And as another effect, has 2 more effects. The other one is you contribute a level 6 Dark Dragon on your field to special summon it from the graveyard or your hand. And the third effect, while it's on the field, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap card into your spell and trap card zone.
Gotcha.
For the branded spells, we play 2 branded in red. This card is crazy. You use one for your combo, the other one's for your grind game. It has the effect to target a Despia card in your graveyard or a card or a Fawn of Albaz in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and then you get to fusion summon by banishing the materials from your hand and or field.
Okay.
And it's more importantly, it's a quick play, so you can do it on your opponent's turn if you do it during your combo. One branded in white, it's a utility card. It's like a poly. If you don't have an Albaz, and if you have an Albaz in grave, you get to fusion by banishing the materials from the graveyard. So it's good. And then it has another effect where if it gets discarded for the effect of Albaz to fusion summon, it goes back to your hand during the end phase.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the reason we're playing a high dragon count, branded in high spirits. This card's crazy. People are not playing it. I don't know why. This is like basically a second branded fusion in the deck. So basically, it has the effect to reveal any card in your hand. Then you send the level 8 fusion from your extra deck with the same type as the card you just revealed. And then you send both to the graveyard. Then you search your deck for any card that mentions Fawn of Albaz.
Gotcha.
And as another effect, in the graveyard, if fusion was sent to the graveyard this turn, you get to add it from your graveyard back to your hand. But you can't use both effects on the same turn. You play 3 copies of Branded Opening. This literally just says special summon a Despian from your deck by discarding a card, and has a graveyard effect that protects your fusions from destruction by banishing it from the graveyard instead.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The best card in the deck, 3 Branded Fusion.
Branded Fusion.
This card lets you fuse with your deck by using if you're using an Albaz, but it locks you into fusions for the rest of the turn. You don't care because you're playing only fusions. But the fact that it lets you use fusions materials from the deck is just crazy.
That is pretty broken.
Yeah. 1 Branded Lost. This card is broken. I'd be playing more, but I don't have the space for it. I'm already at 60, and obviously you can't go any higher.
Yeah, of course.
This card has the effect that your opponent cannot activate any cards in response to your fusion summons, basically.
So Super Poly without the fusion?
No, so like let's just say like they have like a Baron now that he's banned, and they try to negate your branded fusion. They wouldn't be able to if this card's on the board because it's
so it protects activation.
Yeah, protects activation. And then on fusion summon of a fusion monster, you get to add any card that mentions Fawn of Albaz.
One of them, huh?
Yeah. And this is the target Lubellion places in your spell and trap card zone.
Gotcha.
1 Branded Retribution. This card's crazy because it has the effect on the field that you can shuffle back 2 fusions that mention Fawn of Albaz from your graveyard, or 1 on the field back into your deck to negate the special summon. And as a graveyard effect, you use more than the first effect. You can banish it and add any card any branded spell or trap from your graveyard back to your hand.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you're trying to mill this and something else to add it back to your hand. And the card nobody else is playing, I don't know why, Branded Sword. This card's broken. It's basically called by the grave for Ash on your Branded Fusion. There's a bunch of combos where you get to search the Mercurier. You get to banish the Mercurier, then you add it back to your hand by banishing this from the graveyard. And you can negate Ash Blossom with it, and which is the choke point of the deck, and this card just says no to that. People aren't. I don't know why people are playing it. And then for the non-branded, technically could be branded spells and spells.
Gold Sark,
Gold Sark, and Foolish. So the Gold Sark is here to banish your Despian Tragedy from the deck, which then triggers it to search your Aluber or your Quem. Same thing with Foolish Burial. It does the same thing. You can mill your Tragedy to search the Aluber or the Quem. But the Gold Sark is broken because in combination with this card, you could also banish your Mercurier and then banish it from the graveyard to add the Mercurier back to your hand. So yeah. And then we're playing for the broken spells. 3 Thrust. This card's broken. If your opponent activates any monster effect and they control a monster, you get to search for any normal spell or trap and it could be activated this turn. But if you have no monster, I mean, you could just you can only set the card and it cannot be activated this turn. But this card's broken going second. You get to search anything in your deck: your Branded Fusion, your Gold Sark, your Foolish Burial, or your Triple Tactics
Triple
Chalice.
Tactic, of course.
3 banned cards in one. If your opponent activates a card during the main phase, you can either draw 2, which is Pot of Greed.
So it gives you options.
Yeah. You could either draw 2, which is Pot of Greed, rip a card out of your hand, which is Confiscation, or take control of a card, which without targeting, which is Change of Card on Crack.
Oh, wow.
And the reason we play Fusion Duplication, and the reason we play it is because if my opponent ashes the Branded Fusion, I don't have a way to stop it, and my turn would normally end. I can go Thrust, set this, and I can resolve Branded Fusion on my opponent's turn. So it's like if they never even ash my Branded Fusion. So that's why we play it.
A lot of underrated cards in there.
Yeah. We play 3 Fusion Deployment. This card has the effect that you can reveal 1 Fusion monster from your extra deck, and you summon one of the materials from your deck, but you're locking the fusions for the rest of the turn. You're only using it to summon Blazing Cartesia or a Fawn of Albaz. That's all you're using it for. Those are your only 2 targets. For a bit of draw spells, we're playing 3 Allure of Darkness.
Triple there.
Draw 2, Banish the Dark. And that can trigger your Despian Tragedy.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Your Mercurier, everything, dude. It's Pot of Greed, basically. And we're on 3 Pot of Desires. Banish top 10, draw 2. More draw power. And that's it for the main deck.
Okay.
For the extra deck.
What does Pot of Greed do?
I don't know, man. We're playing 1 Mirror Jade. We're only playing 1 because it's very easy to revive it from the graveyard. You don't really need the second one unless you're playing against Cashier, which can rip it up from your extra deck.
Yeah.
But even then, you have other ways to stop them. Mirror Jade has the effect, so it requires Albaz plus any monster summoned from the extra deck. So it has an effect where you can send a fusion that mentions Fawn of Albaz from your extra deck to the graveyard to banish a card on the field without targeting. And it has another effect that I don't understand why it has it, where if it gets onto your graveyard by an opponent's card, you blow up their board during the end phase.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not an activated effect. You can get rid of stuff that says it can't be it's unaffected by activated effects. This is just like a continuous effect, I guess. We're playing 1 Albion the Sanctifier Dragon.
This deck has a lot of outs.
Yeah. It's like a toolboxy deck, I guess. It just requires Albaz and any light spellcaster. This card's broken because it could reborn the said Mirror Jade. Also, I forgot to mention the Mirror Jade's also not once per. It's a soft once per 2 turns. So if you keep reborning it and looping it, you can continuously banish multiple cards. And the Albion helps by reborning the Mirror Jade.
Wow.
So Sanctifier can target 2 cards from either player's graveyard, summon 1 on your field, 1 on the opponent's field, and as a graveyard effect that not a lot of people remember, where you can tribute 2 cards in the extra monster zones and 2 in the middle monster zones, like a diamond shape, and reborn it from the graveyard. It's really good.
Okay.
We're playing Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon. So this just requires Fawn of Albaz plus a monster with 2500 or more attack. It has an effect that it gains 100 attack times the level of the fusion materials. So usually this thing's only going up to 3700. And then has an end phase graveyard effect where if it got sent to the graveyard this turn, you can special summon a Dogmatica monster from your deck or a Fawn of Albaz.
Gotcha.
And then we're playing 2 Albion, the Branded Dragon. This card is like the first one you use for your combo, the other one you use it for like your follow-up, I guess. As the effect, it just requires Albaz and a light monster. And as the effect that on Fusion Summon, you get to banish materials from your field or graveyard to Fusion Summon. And as an end phase effect, if it got sent to the graveyard this turn, you get to set any branded spell or trap or add it to your hand. So like the Branded in red, which lets you Fusion Summon on the opponent's turn.
Gotcha.
And stuff like that. Yeah. 1 Lubellion the Searing Dragon. You only need 1. It just requires Albaz and a Dark Monster. When it's Fusion Summoned, you get to discard a card for cost, and you can Fusion Summon by shuffling materials from your field, banished, or graveyard back into the deck.
Yeah.
But it can't attack this turn. Alright. We play 1 Albulanetus. This is not standard. The reason I play this is because it's a fusion monster that mentions Fawn of Albaz, so it does not require like a poly or anything, it's just contact fuse. It just requires Albaz plus any dragon, and it turns on your Mercurier because you just have a fusion that mentions Fawn of Albaz. So you can negate Ash, Nib, Bystials. And it comes up against Dragon Link, I guess, as well, where you can just send an Albaz and fuse away their whole board into this. Yeah. Really good. And during the end phase, when it got sent to the graveyard, you get to search for any fusion spell. 1 Rimbrum the Striking Dragon. It just requires Fawn of Albaz plus any Wing Beast. It has the effect that if your opponent activates a monster summon from the extra deck, you can negate it and bounce a card on the field back to the hand. It doesn't have to be the card you negated either. And it has a graveyard effect where you can banish an Albaz to reborn himself, or you can banish himself to reborn an Albaz, which then fuses with the opponent's board. We play 1 Sprint, the Iron Dash Dragon. Nobody plays this card. I think this card's hella underrated. Basically, it just requires Fallen of Albaz plus any monster special summon this turn. And has the effect that during the main phase you can move it to any other monster zone, and it blows up the board to the column that it's on. So it can remove skill like floodgates like Rivalry, Goes and Match, Tikaboo. It's really good. And more importantly, the reason I use it is because during the end phase, the turn you got sent there, it can special summon an Albaz or a Spriggan's monster, like the Spriggan's Kit, which just searches you any branded board trap, and then you continue to pop off. So yeah, this deck plays a lot during the end phase. We're playing double Granguignol, the Dusk Dragon. This just requires Cartesia plus any light or dark. On Fusion Summon, it mills any level 6 or higher light or dark from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. And then during your opponent's turn, if your opponent special summons a monster using a monster effect, you can banish it from the field or graveyard to special summon a Dogmatica from your deck or a Despia monster from your extra deck. So like, it's really crazy. The Despia monster you play in the extra deck is Despian Caritas. It just requires a Despian monster and a light or a dark, which is crazy. It's hella generic. It has the effect, as a quick effect, that you can make every monster on the field that's not a level 8 fusion turn to 0 attack. And against Snake Eyes, you make this and he can't kill you because as an effect, if it gets sent to the graveyard this turn by, if it just relieves the field by anything basically, by an opponent's card effect, you get to special summon an Albaz from the deck or a Despia monster from your deck. So you special the Albaz, you fuse with their board. So he really cannot out this. We play one Pedaplant Draggle Stapelia. The reason we play it is because if we get hit by Shifter, we can go Branded Fusion into send Tragedy and Albaz to go Rebellion and then search Despian off the Tragedy since it got banished, and then we can Rebellion make this. It's a negate, it stops most of the Shifter decks, that's what we played, and on the opponent's turn we can make this with the Cartesia because it's also a quick effect to fuse. Yeah. And it's basically it has a quick effect to give an opponent a Predator counter, and while the monster has a Predator counter on the field, it cannot activate its effect. So it's a convoluted way of like saying negate, basically. Yeah. We're playing one Borreload Furious Dragon. Not a lot of people are on this. People are finally catching on to this card is good. It just requires 2 Dark Dragons, which is very easy in this deck. And it has a quick effect to pop a card on your field and a card on your opponent's field. That's basically all it does. There's another effect in the grave, it's not too relevant in this deck. And for the last card of my extra deck, I play one Guardian Chimera. It just requires 3 monsters with different names. It has the effect that I can, if I use the fusion materials from 2 monsters from the field, that fusion material and 1 from hand, I get to pop 2 and draw 1. If I use 2 from hand and 1 on field, I get to draw 2, pop 1. Alright, and that's it. Thank you.
So what's the weakness of this deck?
People think it's Ash Blossom. I don't think so. I don't think there's a weakness with this deck right now.
Really?
Yeah. I'm being honest.
So it's unbeatable.
I wouldn't say it's unbeatable, but I think it's like legit like the top 3 best deck in the game.
Wow. How much did you invest in this?
Well, the Thruster, I got them when they were high, when they were like 90, and the Clems, I got them when they were like 50, so I don't know how much I put in there, at least like 1k I think or something.
Are you, damn Yu-Gi-Oh player, did you hear that? Pay to play, I guess. Pay to play.
Well, not 1k, but like around there, but you know.
I got you.
I'm rounding it, but yeah.
Alright, Gilly, but thanks for your time, bro, always.
Appreciate you. For sure.